Hi, welcome to my channel. Today the subject is don't Google it. So if you have trigeminal neuralgia, you think you have, or you have a chronic pain condition that's more hidden, Googling it will only perhaps send you into a deeper panic. And I'm speaking from my own experiences. So about 3 years ago, I started off on this journey with trigeminal neuralgia. I didn't know that's what I had, but when I was then diagnosed by my dentist, actually, I then went straight off and started to Google it and then sent myself into a panic. The reason why you send yourself off into a panic is this is an unknown condition largely. So when you Google it, you get the higher level of information that makes you feel like your life is over and that you're never going to have any quality of life again. And in the beginning, you do feel like that because you're just really struggling with the pain and struggling to get information, and you don't know what it's about, so you Google it. And when you're looking across the internet, what do you find? You find a lot of medical professions, like private practices. In the UK we don't really have that as much, but a lot of people promoting what they can offer you in a way of surgery, treatments and that type of thing. So you get a lot of that on YouTube as well. It's, you know, a particular practice, a particular expert who can offer you this particular procedure. So you get a lot of that. You get a lot of seemingly graphic drawings of all the nerves and everything in your head. And I think once you've seen where your trigeminal neuralgia nerve is, that's it. You don't need to know it again. And you seem to get a lot of also drawings of like half of the faces with nerve endings. And it just makes you feel a whole lot worse. So it definitely made me feel worse. And I definitely felt that I had this thing, I had to live with it, and I wasn't going to be able to do anything ever again, because when I first started, I was in so much pain. I was on the bed a lot. I couldn't do anything. The most I could do was probably make myself a drink. I wasn't eating very well, and I just thought, well, this is obviously my life. And dare I say it as well, being called the suicide disease does make you feel so down and so negative. And you do think, my goodness, is this what I have? This is awful, especially if you've never heard of it before. So I know you will Google it if you're new to this, you will. But I suppose when I'm saying don't Google it, what I'm saying is if you do Google it, take the information, take it in, learn about the condition, but understand that everybody's journey will be different. Okay, so some people will end up in chronic pain for a long time, and they may have to go for surgery, they may have to try different treatments, levels of medication, and it might be a real struggle to get it under control. Okay, that's going to be some people. There are going to be other people that go into remission really quickly, find that they have this for, I don't know, 6 months, and then it appears to go into the background and it doesn't become a problem anymore. And then there's going to be everybody else in between. And I would say that's a lot of people. A lot of people will have varying journeys. So some of you will get to a medication that works for you. You'll start off on a higher dose like I did and then be able to reduce it down and just keep yourself stable. Others of you will have to go through the whole kind of situation where you're going to different professionals and you'll need to have surgery, but it will put things right for you to a greater extent. So there's everybody in the middle, okay? So there's extreme people who really can't live their lives and are having multiple attacks a day, cannot get under control, and then there's the people that are in remission, and there's everybody in between. So I suppose what I'm trying to say to you is you don't know who you're going to be at the beginning of this journey, and that's frightening, yes, but it should give you a little bit of hope that I'm sat here talking to you and I'm not in pain at the moment. I'm a bit groggy because, you know, I don't sleep brilliantly, and the tablets I take for trigeminal and other things, they kind of mess me up a little bit. So I don't have the quality of life that I had before this happened, but I'm not sitting here in pain talking to you. Now, at the beginning of the journey, even when I was making my very first video, I had to time it really tightly within a couple of hours a day when I was in less pain, but I was still in pain. So the difference between 3 years ago and now is massive. But what I've had to accept is that I'm not the same person. I can't do what I did before. And I think that's one big part of the journey, is accepting that perhaps you will get a quality of life back and hopefully, God willing, you will be in less pain than what you are at the beginning of your journey once you find the medication that works for you and the levels that work for you, and hopefully a professional that is going to help you through that. But you may well have to accept that what you did before you had trigeminal neuralgia is not going to be the same. And this is the greatest part of the journey, is the acceptance levels. Accepting if you were working before, but you don't feel you can do that now because you're too groggy on the tablets, or you do get pain flare-ups, then actually you may have to give up work. Now, I know that's not possible for everyone, but you may have to consider it. It may be that you're working, but you might have to change your job into something that's more sedentary, because I used to find, and still do, that too much activity, which is why loads of us put on weight, because we're on tablets, and too much activity does actually make it worse, and that's a sad fact. But you know, moving around, moving your head around, it can just be a trigger in itself. So it might be that your job is going to have to be different. It may be that you were the life and soul of the party and now you're not. It may be that you were the center of the family and that you used to do things, lots of things for everybody, and now you can't. And therefore you have to find things that you can do, okay, rather than what you can't do. Is what you can do. But I strongly suggest that you don't just look at YouTube videos that take you down the route of, and this is what surgery you're going to need to have. I remember having this conversation with my dentist when I was in so much pain. I was so down, and she'd said, I have seen a number of people with this, Nairi. And I was like, you have? She went, yeah, I have. I've been a dentist for quite a while, and I've treated a number of people with this. And she said, there are ways around it. And I was thinking, no. I thought she was lying. I thought she was lying to me just to make me feel better. She said, you're not always going to be at the level of pain you're in now. She said you will probably be able to stabilize it on the medication. She said, or you can go for very low level interventions, which are quite an easy fix. And I just thought she was lying to me. I thought, in fact, anybody that used to say anything positive about trigeminal neuralgia and their lifestyle, I used to think they were lying. And the other thing that I didn't understand was I joined the TN Association, which is a UK thing, and they used to have these sort of online conference things, and I did those in the beginning thinking, why do people want to sit here? I don't want to sit here. I'm in too much pain. Why are people sat here, you know, and I can see them online, but they don't look like they're in a lot of pain? Well, I understand that everybody would have been on a different part of their journey, and some of them would not have been sat there in pain there and then. So I'm trying to give you a little bit of hope. I'm trying to be realistic with you that sometimes to stabilize the condition can take a long time. It can take a lot of heartache as you go to professionals that don't understand, a lot of trial and error on different tablets and things like that. I'm not going to say it would be easy, and I'm not going to say that every single one of you will reach a level where you can actually get through the day with, you know, not too many episodes and not too much pain. But I am trying to be hopeful, and I'm trying to steer you away from just reading all of the negativity, watching everybody with flare-ups all the time that are in agony, and try to remain positive that you may have a quality of life that actually is acceptable to you and to the rest of the people around you. Okay, so I only really publish about once a month because I'm not doing this channel to get loads of support or anything. I'm not medical, so please don't put medical comments in about what treatment you think everybody should have. Please don't do that. This is not a medical channel. This is about living with chronic pain. In my case, trigeminal neuralgia. In your case, it could be something else. Subscribe if it's useful, and I'll see you on Let's Face It Together. Thank you.